Hello, my friend, and welcome back to my little homestead kitchen where I am currently hiding from all the April showers. They have filled our days recently, so instead of working in the garden, I'm having a bit of rainy day baking fun, cozied up in some comfy clothes, warm drink in hand. I have a nostalgic movie on in the background and some fun recipes to work on while the rain falls. Once the rain does stop later on in the week, I'm going to take you outside for a glimpse of the kitchen and cottage gardens mid-April. The first recipe I'm working with is some cinnamon rolls. I have activated some yeast and some warm water with a little bit of sugar. You need 1.5 cups of warm water, 4.5 teaspoons of active dry yeast, and a teaspoon of sugar. You allow that to activate, and then I added 5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/3 cup of granulated sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 egg, and 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter. You knead the dough for 5 minutes, let it rest for 10, and then you can roll it out into a very long rectangle and add the filling. The filling is 1/4 cup of unsalted butter, room temp, a 1/2 cup of light brown sugar, and 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. You spread that all over it, cut them into the size that you want, and roll them up. Cover with a towel and allow them to rise for 1 hour. I have 3 tips for ensuring you have soft and fluffy cinnamon rolls. Number 1, don't ever add too much flour. Number 2, always drizzle with heavy cream before baking. Number 3, don't overbake. They will continue to bake a little bit after you pull them out of the oven. As always, you can find detailed recipes and instructions down in the description. I whipped up some cream cheese icing. It's 4 ounces of cream cheese, 1/4 cup salted butter, room temp, 1 cup of powdered sugar, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. This next recipe has been on my to-try list for a very long time. We're going to make some ciabatta rolls. This does require a bit more time, but it's very simple. So this rainy day has provided me with that time to just have some fun. I didn't have anything I absolutely had to make. So the ciabatta rolls are getting made today. So the first step, as always, is to activate our yeast. So I have 1 cup of warm water, 1 teaspoon of instant yeast, and I have 1 teaspoon of sugar going in here. I'm gonna let this sit for about 5 to 10 minutes until this yeast gets nice and bubbly. Next, we add flour. You need 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour and 1 teaspoon of salt. I am doubling this recipe. Ciabatta dough is a high hydration dough. This helps develop those classic holes that you find in ciabatta bread. So don't panic if the dough is sticky and wet in the beginning. It is going to transform through our stretch and fold process. So you just mix that together, you're gonna cover it, and you're gonna let it rest for 30 minutes. This is very similar to how sourdough is made without the sourdough starter. A lot of the same process without that bulk fermentation. So after that 30 minutes, you're going to want to wet your hands really well because it is sticky, and you're going to pull up from one side of the bowl, stretch, and fold it over itself. Give it a quarter turn, pull up, stretch, and fold over itself. And you're gonna do that all the way around the bowl for a total of 4 stretch and folds. After you have stretched and folded all the way around the bowl, we're going to cover it and allow it to rest for another 30 minutes. Come back, do those 4 stretch and folds all the way around the bowl, cover it, let it rest another 30 minutes, and do a third set of stretch and folds, and then a final rest of 30 minutes. You will find with each set of these stretch and folds, your dough is going to transform. It's going to become more elastic, much smoother, and it's not going to be sticky anymore. You'll see that when I go to dump it out of the bowl, it just rolls right on out. It doesn't stick to the bowl at all. And right now we are just kind of building up that gluten. We're trapping in air bubbles so we get those nice air pockets. Now after that whole process, I'm going to take my dough and transfer it to a floured work surface. And you can see here, it is just sliding right out of that bowl, no sticking. I'm going to take a little bit of flour and dust over the top, and I'm going to slightly pull on the corners to try and flatten this out a bit into a rectangle. Now, I will say I doubled this recipe, and next time I think if I'm doubling, I'm just gonna do 1 batch per bowl. I think it would make it much more workable, more easy to work with, because it was kind of hard to get it to stretch without deflating it. And I don't want to deflate those bubbles. We want those bubbles. So I would recommend just doing a single batch at a time, just to ensure you get the best result possible. So I did my best to work that into a rectangle. I cut them into smaller rectangles then. For a double batch, I got 10 rolls, and then I covered them and allowed them to rest for 40 minutes. Meanwhile, I have my oven preheating at 420, and I have some boiling water in that pan that is going to steam and give the rolls that kind of chewy, little bit crunchy outer shell while keeping the inside nice and fluffy. Those are going to bake at 420 for 20 minutes, and halfway through I did spritz them with some water to create some more steam and to ensure they got nice and golden brown on the top. These turned out beautiful. They were super yummy according to my husband, but I didn't get the crumb that I was after with those big air pockets inside. It wasn't bad, and they were very fluffy on the inside, very chewy, a little bit crunchy on the outside, so perfect there. But I'd like to get more air pockets next time, so there will definitely be a next time, and I'm thinking what I need to do is just make separate batches so I don't deflate it as much during that step where I need to stretch it out and cut them. Okay, we have a little break in the rainy weather, so we're going to take advantage of it. I'm going to take you outside and update you on what's been going on in the kitchen and cottage gardens. It's been a little while, and I really wanted to get you back out here. Look at these lovely things. Aren't they beautiful? This one is like fire. I love it. Oh, you're probably gonna... So this mark on my neck, it's on this side too. It's all over my back. So I'm fine. I have been going to a chiropractor who is helping me with my posture. So posture has always been an issue of mine. It actually kind of runs in our family. I've been trying to work on it for years without much success. I just feel like I couldn't get out of this position. I was just locked in it no matter how much I stretched. So I'm seeing a new chiropractor who also does like some physical therapy side of it. And I guess I have a whole lot of adhesions, muscle adhesions, like deep fascia type issues. So he's been using this scrapey device, which is not the most fun experience, but every time he does it, I feel so much better. I feel like I have a little bit more range of motion, and he's only done it twice now, so I'm seeing him weekly. So you're gonna start to see these marks on me, but everything's good. So I just wanted to pop outside for a little bit and give you a little tour of what has been happening out here. Not a whole lot. We haven't been having the greatest weather. It has been either really cold. We've actually had quite a few frosts, so I haven't planted much out, or it's been raining. So I'm a little bit behind out here, but that's okay. I just wanted to bring you out and show you what's going on. So we do have all of these beautiful tulips here. Let me get you a better look. These colors, and look at the ground ivy down there. Just so beautiful. Really just gets me excited for garden season. Look at that. There's some yellow over here. Still a couple narcissus, but they're on their way out. Let me find a really pretty one. Here, this one. I love the center. It's just like apricot color. So pretty. And I have some little grape hyacinth in here. I have white and purple ones. I still have to get all the leaves out, but it's good right now for all the little critters who are still kind of waking up. And then where do I have them? Here's one over here. These leaves right here, this is an anemone. They haven't popped up yet. And then over here I have some iris that are just waking up. So I've got this little row here. I still have pots kind of displaced everywhere, still getting everything in order. And then I have this little row over here too, a bunch more grape hyacinth over here. But I haven't extended this front bed yet since we have expanded the garden. But let me go over here. Like I said, it's still kind of messy, but here's a little overview of the space. The wind has taken the chairs back there. Everything's just waking up. I have some spinach in this front bed here. It's doing okay. We had some frost, quite a few actually, and a bunch of the outer leaves had died. I've picked them off, but it survived. It's doing okay here. So that's really all that's going on in this bed. I had planted some leaf lettuce, 2 rows of it here, and I don't see any sprouts at all. So perhaps those seeds weren't good anymore, but that's okay. Over here, I do have some lettuce. Look at how beautiful and vibrant that is. Love that. It's doing okay. It survived the frost. And then I have some celery back in there. I have some more I need to plant. And just a couple, I think these are shallots up here and over there. And I did have some endive, and that hasn't come up either. I don't know, maybe it's just taking its good old time. Over here I have leeks, and these are beets that still haven't come up either. It's been like 2 weeks. I don't know. We'll see. I've got roses waking up everywhere. Back in there I have some more shallots. And then over here I have some more leeks. And I did see, here's some little turnips coming up. They look good. So something at least sprouted from seed. So I did not cover anything when we had those frosts, and my cabbage really took a beating. I'm not sure if this one's gonna pull through, but you know, that's just me in the garden. It's just survival of the fittest here. I'm not always the most proactive in the beginning of the year until I kind of just get back into the swing of things. I just totally forgot I had things out here. I should have covered them, but it's all right. The strawberry beds are looking so good. So I've got these two. This is on its 3rd year. That's the 2nd. And this will be a 1st year up front. So you can just kind of see the difference, how they fill in. This is what these two beds look like. You don't have to plant nearly as many strawberries as you think you do. They multiply exponentially. I removed all of my wooden planks here from this bed, which in a couple videos back, we had planted some carrots. See them popping up here. So I've got about 14 rows of carrots. I need to come through and water these, even though we've been having all of this rain. It's not quite enough to keep the ground saturated. And then look what's happening over here. I have this mix of onions. They're doing well, but I just saw all of my little peas are popping up all the way down. So that's what this is for. Now these aren't a tall variety. I think they grow to be about 2 feet tall. So this isn't totally necessary, but I like the aesthetic of it, and I figured at least help keep them upright. So got our peas going on here. The wind is picking up, so I'm sorry if you can hear that, but I really wanted to show you what the cottage garden is doing right now. I do have some more room to work with this year since I expanded it. I made the half circle just a bit wider so that it would match up with the edge of the raised bed garden. So I've got this big, oh, hold on, I'm tripping over a big old branch here. So this whole area here is empty. So you know what that means. I get to have a lot more fun. I do have perennials popping up everywhere, so it's kind of hard to envision what this space is going to look like, but it's going to transform quickly. And I'm not totally sure what I'm doing over here. I know I had someone ask me if I'm going to get more roses. I may. Not decided just yet, but I feel like it would be suiting. I have a rose here, a rose there, there's a rose here. Rose there, there's one over here, and then I have one here. So it would look good if I had another rose here and another rose off to the back over there where I expanded. But this is just potential. It's this blank canvas, and I'm really excited to shop some perennials because this is like my perennial garden space, my cottage flower garden. So I'm gonna get some more perennials. So eventually this will fill in, and we'll see how, I have this vision in my mind, but I'm not quite sure how it's going to play out just yet. So let's see what's popping up. I've got a whole bunch of peonies popping up here. I have different types of salvia here and here. All of these in throughout here, they're strawberry runners, and I just let them go in here. They don't hurt anything, and I can get more strawberries then. Can't really tell you what that is either. It's perennial, I know that. I know I planted it last year, but it's still somewhat new, so I don't remember what it is. I have delphinium popping up all over the place in here. This here is a coneflower, like an echinacea, but I believe it's a sunset variety. So it's like oranges and corals and pinks. This, I know, super exciting, seeing all these little things, not so entertaining, but if you see the little things now, you can just kind of see how it transforms, and I like bringing you along for that. This is baptisia. It's beautiful, so that should start really putting on a lot of growth here soon. More delphinium, more, oh goodness, echinacea here and there, and then this is fennel that comes back every year, and I just let it go because the butterflies love it. Oh, what else do we got in here? This is truly a miracle. I bought this on clearance. It's a type of salvia. Why won't you focus? May Night. Beautiful purple salvia that I got on clearance last year, and I never planted it. It just sat here all winter. Lo and behold, it wanted to live. So good on you, little guy. And then I've got a rose bush here. This one is not a David Austin, and it is always diseased. There's always black spot on it or some sort of fungus. And I don't love it like my other ones. So that I might be taking out. That's a weed. That's a weed. That is some sort of salvia, more delphinium, another rose, more of a salvia that I needed to plant last year, and it survived, so yay. Foxglove are popping up, black-eyed Susan back there, and then another rose bush, a stilby, More peonies, lots of strawberries. I've got bleeding hearts over here, more lavender, and more salvia in the front. And then Lady of Shalott, one of my most favorite David Austin roses here, looking really healthy. It's a climber as well. So I have, I almost just fell. I have this whole section here as well to fill in. So mid-April, here is the Cottage flower garden. It's going to transform so quickly. And then this whole area here still needs to be worked with. Like I said, the weather just hasn't really cooperated with us, so I haven't been out here doing what I want to. It's either been really cold or really windy or really rainy and just not the greatest working in the garden weather, but this coming week looks like it's going to change. So this is currant here, and I do have some feverfew that came back. If you saw on my Instagram stories, we've got asparagus coming up. I have some in here I need to harvest. So Grant and I harvested this the other day. We got about 12 spears, and he helped me pick it, he helped me cook it, and then he ate all 12 spears. He loves his asparagus. Here's the little orchard section. This one here is a plum, and you can see it started to bloom. We've had a lot of frost, so I am just praying that they survive. I might have to try the sprinkler trick, letting a sprinkler run overnight. We're supposed to have one more frost coming up here soon, and then it looks good in the 10-day. So we'll see after that, but that's the plum. I've got my 2 elderberry back here. They look nice and healthy. I've got some comfrey down here. This one is a pear. I think I have 2, or no, I have a Bartlett and I have a Kiefer. But beautiful. Here is the Kiefer, not opened up quite as much. And then I have my hydrangea here. I believe this is a snowball, an Annabelle hydrangea here. This is only its 2nd year. It didn't do very well when I planted it last year. Then I have the apples. They're just starting to bud up. This is the pink lady. And then over there, that is a Macintosh. Then over here, this little tiny tree is my Red Haven peach. A little bit behind the others, and then that there is a butterfly bush I transplanted from the cottage garden. So it's just getting too big, but I thought it'd be pretty here by the edge of the fence, and it survived transplanting. New growth down there, so go me for not killing it. Okay, if you've been here a little while, this little garden up by the house has changed every year. But this is what I think it will be now for the future. This is my berry garden. So I've got my yellow, my gold raspberries, my kind of like, I guess you'd call them coral raspberries. So I have Anne and I have double gold. They're on this side. I have this new row, the center here, which is blackberries and a couple Joan J raspberries up there. And then this 3rd row is all Joan J. They're each about 20 feet long. And I'm keeping it this way and not putting anything else in here because of this disaster. So if you are new to raspberries, they're incredibly invasive. Make sure to plant them somewhere you don't mind them popping up, literally everywhere. So we're either gonna come in here with a tiller, or Matt and I were just saying about letting grass grow in here and then just mowing it down every week, just for, the easiest way to maintain it. Because you just got little shoots popping up everywhere. That's just what happens with raspberries. And the last thing I'll show you is the blueberries. They're looking really good, lots of new growth. I have 14 of them all up here. It's nice actually having a little bit of sunshine instead of rain for once. So here's the garden, mid-April. That's all for today, my friend. I hope you enjoyed coming along for some rainy day baking and a look at what's going on in the kitchen and cottage gardens. If you enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment or an emoji down below, share with someone else who would enjoy this video, and if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. I appreciate you all so much. Many blessings on your week, my friend. Until next time, take care.